on the road. Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Okay, so one of the big audacious goals that I set for 2019 is to help 1,000 business owners become profitable. So I do these business training type videos to really help you in your business. But I really want to talk today about payment processing because things are happening in the payment processing world and you really need to be aware, okay? So one of the things that has come up over the last couple of days is really payment processing fees, okay? Because even in my own business, when I looked at what I have been paying for payment processing, I'm like, yo, that can be a pretty penny. So I totally get the temptation to use personal payment transfers to conduct business. But I did a little bit of reading, okay, this morning. And so I want to make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into, because a lot of times we agree to the terms of service, but we don't read the terms of service, okay? And I went through and I started reading some terms of service of popular personal payment transfers. So let's start with Venmo. Okay, and it says in the terms of service, personal Venmo accounts lets you do things like make payments with friends, buy things through an authorized merchant's mobile website or app. And it says, except for authorized merchant and Venmo MasterCard payments, personal accounts may not be used to conduct business, commercial, or merchant transactions with other personal accounts, which includes paying or accepting payment from other personal accounts held by users you do not personally know for goods and services. Okay, that's Venmo. The next one is Zelle. Zelle says, this service is intended to send money to friends, families, and others you trust. You should not use the service to send money to recipients with whom you are not familiar. Now, it says to be a user, you must A, enroll with the U.S. address and U.S. mobile phone number, have a personal, not a business or commercial U.S. checking or savings account, and or a personal, not a business or commercial debit card in conjunction with blah, blah, blah. Okay? Apple Pay. Apple Pay says the service may only be used for personal, non-commercial purposes. Okay? PayPal, friends and family. PayPal's terms of service says if you are selling goods or services, you may not ask the buyer to send a personal payment. Okay? You guys, these personal transfers, they are shutting down accounts because people are getting busted by conducting business in order to avoid the processing fees. You got to stop, because they retain the right to shut down your account and they will hold the funds that are in that account. It's actually in their terms of service. But again, because we don't read the terms of service, we just go, yo, we just gonna do this. They got all these people. They're not gonna catch us. That's not how you do business. So like I said, I totally get the cost of payment processing. You know, like when you do the math, like that's a lot of money that goes out the window, so to speak, okay, to pay for that payment processing. And the temptation to use this personal transfer is high. But listen to me, when you are talking about doing business, when you are growing business, that is the cost of doing business, plain and simple. It's not cute. Nobody likes to pay it. Nobody, I often ask, why does it cost more to transfer $1,000 than it does to transfer $10? Is it not the same process, right? But that is the way it is. Most payment processors charge around 3%. There's that whole 2.9% plus something. It usually works out to about 3.5%. Okay, depending on how much you're transferring. Okay. So just know that if you are running a business, that you need to act like you are running a business. None of that paying for stuff on Cash App, using Venmo personal, using friends and family, no, that is not how you conduct a business. You have a payment processor and you want that because especially when you start to boss out and then you get one of these services that hang up a couple $1,000s, oh, yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to impact your cash flow quickly. Okay, so yeah, we don't like it, but it's the cost of doing business. It is a tax deductible expense, so you do get to write that off. So if you charge $100 for something and then your payment processor charges you, $3 to transfer that money, that $3 is a tax deductible expense for you. So as you're growing in business, then you need to grow in business. And one of those things is payment processing, and you need to make it as easy as possible for people to pay you. As easy as possible. And I also get, especially my millennial squad, y'all like, yo, you got Cash App, you got Venmo, you like, I'm walking around here like I'm Lenny, like I got all the payment apps that you can possibly name. But when it comes down to doing business, okay, you need to use a commercial processor. You need to pay that fee. I mean, don't get me wrong, who among us has not used PayPal Friends and Family when we know it was not friends and family? Okay? Who among us has not done that? All right? I can tell you for sure I have done that. Okay? But that's just not the way that you do business. When you know better, you do better. And even though you might think this is a harmless thing to do, the way these payment processors look at it, it's not harmless. Because all of these payment processors, they're owned by some of the same people. Like I think Venmo is owned by PayPal. Apple Pay is connected to Green Dot. Right? So all these payment processors they have a commercial side, like your Stripe, your, PayPal has a commercial side. Who else? They got commercial sides. They also have the friends and family side. So what you have to do though, is as a business owner, you need to act like a business owner. You want to talk about paying the cost to be the boss? That's the cost. Okay. So Maxine asked a great question. What about businesses that mandate a minimum for purchase? Well, because again, it's the processing fees. They have to ask themselves, is it really worth it? Right? Is it worth it for you to make a $1, like if you buy $1 something and you pay for it with your debit card, is it worth it for them? Right? So yeah, they might have a minimum purchase fee of $5 for you to make it worth it for them to pay those processing fees. They're like, look, we got to make a minimum of X amount of dollars if you're going to, use these electronic payment processing. So yeah, it's a cost of doing business and they got to make sure it's worth it. So I don't blame them in the least, even though it is a tax deductible expense. When they look at the overall cost of what it costs them to process that transaction, if at the end of the day, they're like, it's not worth the nickel that I'm going to earn. So yeah, they might set a minimum amount that you have to purchase in order to use a debit card. Like, I get it because I've gone to plenty of places and I had to spend $1.99 and like, man, I really do not have $2 in my wallet, right? Because we've gone to a more electronic, we're at an electronic world, right? That's where we are. So, so yeah, that's what it is. It's a cost. And as a business owner, you have to make those decisions. And yeah, a lot of times those costs they get passed off to the consumer. So you know that when you're buying something, that there is a processing fee that's probably wrapped up in the price or is being added to the price. So when you see a processing fee, of $5 or something, yeah, they're not keeping that money. That's going to the bank. So if you buy a $200 product and then there is a $3 or $4 processing fee, that is a fee that is going to the bank to process that transaction. That company is not keeping that money. They are getting the $200 that they're supposed to get. So that's how that works. So as a business owner, you have to make sure that you are pricing so that you take those processing fees into account, and and that you're not losing money. That's it. Because at the end of the day, your job as a business owner is to run a profitable, sustainable business. One of those expenses is going to be processing fees. So unless you are dealing strictly with cash or ACH, the bank transfer. And bank transfers take longer. They take 2 or 3 days to process. So you're either going to deal in cash only, or you're going to deal in ACH transfer. And, I'm not necessarily a fan of ACH transfer unless it's someone that you can trust, because that's just like a check, right? So then if that check bounces and you've already performed the service, then you may be out your money. So if you want your money like as quickly as possible and conveniently as possible, you're going to pay the convenience fee. And that's the cost of doing business. So don't get caught trying to game the system by using these personal payment, these personal payment transfers. And as a consumer, if you are sending money with a personal transfer, you have no protections. That's not a buyer protection type of event, because you're only supposed to be using those personal payment services to send money to friends and family, people that you know. So if you send some money, I saw this in a group where, I cash apped this person $20 for a logo and she never delivered. Well, and that's too bad, because you can't get your money back. So as a consumer, you shouldn't do that unless it's someone that you know. But if it's for a commercial service, you shouldn't do it at all. Business owners, it's time to come up. It is time to raise the bar in how we're doing business. Payment processing is a necessary evil, because you have to make it easy for your customers to pay you. And I don't care. Even if you're having a darn yard sale, you want to make it easy for people to give you your money. That's it. So you have multiple ways for people to pay you. And payment processing is one of those ways. You get your money, you have access to your money sooner versus, having to wait for a check to clear and all of that. And in a lot of cases, it's instant. But there is a convenience fee. Just like you go to the convenience store and you pay convenience store prices that is cheaper in the grocery store, but is convenient. Therefore, you will pay the convenience fee. Payment processing is the same thing. So if you are using this personal payment processors, to conduct business, I'm going to encourage you today to stop. Get you some commercial transactions. Like for me, I use QuickBooks for my invoicing, and they process the payments. There's lots of different types of, there's Stripe, there's PayPal commercial, there's Square. All of those types of services, those are the services that you use for business. And yes, those third-party payment processors, they send a 1099-K to the government if you have over 200 transactions and over $20,000. So please know that as well. Okay? That's just the law. That's what they got to do. Okay, so I hope this gives you food for thought on how to raise your business up, you guys. It's time to up level. Now, you have been asking, and now it is here. Business coaching, okay? I am opening up group coaching, starting in May. Okay, it's going to be a 4-week program. We are talking about helping business owners be profitable. So be on the lookout. It is coming starting May 2019, because I don't know when folks is watching this video, right? Starting in May 2019, be on the lookout. Get ready. All right. Have a great day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.